welcome to Data Center Nation. My name is Ambrose McNevin. Today I'm joined by Aleksandar Grbic. Aleksandar is Global Data Center Segment Manager, Electrification, Smart Power at ABB. Aleksandar, welcome.
Thank you very much, Ambrose, and I'm happy to be here with you.
Fantastic. Aleksandar, ABB's recent white paper on sustainable data center strategies suggests 5 steps towards it to sustainability. Number 3 focuses on design. Could you expand on what ABB sees as the most effective design approaches to achieving sustainability in data center operations?
Thank you very much for this question. So I first of all need to say that sustainability is a key topic nowadays, if not the most important topic that we see in the data center community. As ABB, we are dealing with the electric distribution of the data centers. And here there is a lot of space for improvement and to answer the sustainability needs of the data centers. And it all comes actually to the proper design. I would start from the system and then go to the product to explain how this can be improved and where are the space for the improvements. If we speak about the systems, we of course need to follow the design requirements and the requirements of the customers, which are mostly around the uptime. But then within those boundaries, we can also think about the alternative solution, which would allow us to answer the sustainability requirements. So to minimize the number of component and the devices, to maximize the efficiency of the data center and ease the operation of the data center itself, and thus reduce the carbon emissions of the data center. Then for large data centers, we can even think to bring UPSs from the low voltage up to the medium voltage, where we can reach even higher efficiencies. So there are really some design optimization aspects which we could consider.
Aleksandar, Europe's power system is going through fundamental transition. By necessity, different countries have different starting positions and will move at different speeds. In that context, what are the main discussion points that you are having with customers and partners in Switzerland?
Thank you for this question. We already spoke about sustainability, and Swiss market is no different. So sustainability is also a key requirement for data centers here. So we need to find the alternative ways to supply the data centers with the electricity, especially also taking into consideration the increased price of the electricity, but also due to the crisis, the lack of the electric energy. So the efficiency of the data center needs to improve, and the alternative sources need to be found to supply the loads. Together with this, it comes the change from the dependency on the fossil fuels. We know that the backup power, typically the data centers are using the diesel generators for the backup power and fossil fuels. So we need to figure out alternative sources of the backup power, such as energy storage systems, even fuel cells. And this could be also a requirement and the trend in the future. And we also need to keep in mind that data centers are within the communities. Typically, they are built near to the big economic centers. Zurich is no different. And here we need to think how we can also bring some energy back from the data center to the community. For example, Nordic countries are using the heat from the data center to heat the houses and so on. We can think also about the electricity in a similar way. We have, of course, the backup power with the UPSs and the batteries for the critical situation, but maybe some of this backup power we can use to supply the IT loads when there is maybe a lack of the electricity from the grid, and in such a way also support the grid as we reduce the request from the data centers. So definitely, again, about the sustainability, about the energy efficiency, and about reducing also the space of the data centers are some key aspects that are being requested for the Swiss market.
That's fascinating. I think we're going to see a lot of changes in the data center power chain setup around it, as I think you mentioned, like dispatchable power, demand response. It's going to be some very exciting times and different approaches are coming. So how important, what's ABB's view, and how important is digital technology to delivering power efficiency inside the data center?
Yeah, I would say digitalization is fundamental, and together with sustainability, maybe it's there for a bit longer time as an important topic, but I'm sure that it continues to be important. And let me still focus on the electrification as this is the part where ABB is working on and is expert. Here, instead of starting from system and going to product, I would start from the products. Everything starts from having data. You need to have the information, what is going on in your electric distribution. So using a smart devices, smart infrastructures, which allow you to collect each and every data about your installation. Then you need to communicate all this information to the monitoring system, but then it comes the analysis and turning this data into valuable information based on which you can take the actions. So for example, by having the detailed monitoring of the electric infrastructure, you can recognize the inefficiencies and take the actions to improve it. Together with this, also it comes the possibility to have to see the health condition of your devices and also predict when the next maintenance is needed. Traditionally, we are using preventive maintenance, but with the predictive maintenance, we can even achieve this savings up to 40%, doing the maintenance only when it's needed, based on the information coming from the devices and the analytics that we are performing.
Wonderful. Finally, what are the main changes and challenges you see coming to the data center sector between now and the year 2030?
That's a really good question, and I think still we are going to speak about digitalization, sustainability, improvement of the energy efficiency. As I just spoke about digitalization, let me start from there. So today we are still at the level that we are more separately monitoring the electric infrastructure, the cooling system, the building management system, so the monitoring of the infrastructure. But in reality, all those systems are working together. So we also need to bring the digitalization at the same level, allow the real Internet of Things, the real communication between the devices, and even further leverage on the new technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, to get even better information about the devices. Yeah, predictive maintenance is one step forward, but there is a lot of opportunities in front of us. And why stopping there? We can even connect different infrastructures to learn from each other, allowing data centers to further improve themselves, improve again the efficiencies, and answer, of course, the sustainability requirements. Together with this, it comes the reduction of carbon emissions. We have, for example, the Microsoft with a target to be carbon neutral and then become carbon negative by 2030. And this is something that we all need to work on. We all need to find the alternative designs, alternative sources of energy, better integration of the renewables, allow data centers to work together with the system, together with the electric distribution, to be active part of the electric systems, to answer those requirements for the sustainability. And finally, as we said, the space is very important. The data centers are near big economic centers, and we need to make them as small as possible, but still keep the same power, because the power requirement is increasing over the years. It comes actually to the power density. So we need to have as dense power as possible.
Wonderful. Aleksandar Grbic from ABB, thank you for speaking with Data Center Nation.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.